Welcome, welcome, welcome. First and foremost, thank you for coming again to another episode. Welcome to the Own the Process podcast. This is where we stop chasing shortcuts and we start embracing the work that it requires for lasting success. I'm your host, Belny Danny, and today we're going to be talking about something every person will face, no matter how successful you are, how talented you are, or prepared that you are, and that's adversity. Nobody ever wakes up saying that, hey, I want to volunteer for adversity. Nobody wakes up hoping that life gets harder. But if you look at every extraordinary life, every meaningful accomplishment, every breakthrough, adversity wasn't the interruption to the story, it became the story. Think of this. J.K. Rowling, who is famously known for selling over 600 million copies of the Harry Potter books. J.K. was unemployed, raising a child alone, and living on welfare. Multiple publishers rejected the Harry Potter books, but one publisher accepted it. The rejection wasn't the end for J.K., and I don't believe it's the end for you. Today we're going to be unpacking why adversity matters and how to mentally approach it and to provide practical ways to get through it. And most important, why your greatest obstacle may actually become your greatest advantage. So, if you're going through something right now, or you're facing difficulties, or maybe it's not you, maybe it's someone you know, this episode is for you. Now, before we get too deep into the weeds, I think the first thing we should do is define it. Adversity isn't tragedy, it's resistance. It's a setback, it's failure, it's a loss, it's some disappointments, it's unexpected changes. Some of us is financial struggles, others is health issues. Maybe it's a career setback, broken relationships, self-doubt. And I know that a lot of people are facing with self-doubts today, right? Today, adversity looks dramatic. Sometimes it's simply just waking up every morning carrying the weight that nobody else sees. And the interesting thing is life doesn't ask permission before introducing adversity. It's a part of being human. The question isn't, will I experience adversity? The question is, who am I going to become because of it? I think in life we do need to have a perspective shift. Most people see adversity as punishment. Successful people eventually learn to see it as training ground. Listen, man, in everything we do, we want to train to get better. Think about it. For those that go to the gym, resistance creates strength. It creates muscles. Without resistance, there is no growth. The same principle applies mentally. Now, here's something that most people don't know. This is the reason why we resist pain. Our brains are wired for survival, for comfort, for predictability, safety. So naturally, adversity feels wrong. Our first instinct is to usually, why me? But maybe the better question is, why is this trying to teach me? Every difficult season asks something different. Sometimes it teaches you patience, sometimes it's humility, sometimes it's discipline, sometimes forgiveness. Most of the time people do need forgiveness. Sometimes it's courage. But adversity almost always reveals something about us we could never have discovered during comfort. Now, Here's a quote that I've heard years ago. It says, calm water has never made a skilled sailor. That just not a just nice quote. It's biology. Pressure reveals capacity. It reminds me of a season when I was trying to get my real estate company off the ground, and I went into this property just going head first, and it ended up being one of the hardest lessons I've ever learned in my life, because something I didn't prepare for. I ended up going through so much adversity, but I learned something about myself, and I learned what I was able to accomplish in a short period of time. Now here's where many people stay stuck. They personalize adversity. I failed becomes I am a failure. Those are not the same thing. One is an event, one is becoming an identity. Never confuse what happens with who you are. Failure is feedback, not an identity. Loss is painful, not a permanent rejection. It's just information, not a definition. Now, what people don't know is that here's another trap. Believing adversity should end quickly. That's a lie. Sometimes growth is slow. Healing is slow. Recovery is slow. Transformation is slow. Nature never rushes. Neither should you. We keep believing the lie that success happens like this, or man, I get better like this. No, it takes work. It takes a process. Now, let's get a little bit more practical. Here's 5 things that can help almost everyone move through adversity. First and foremost, we need to first accept reality. Not approve it, not enjoy it, accept it. Acceptance stops the emotional fight against reality. Energy spent arguing with reality is energy unavailable for solving problems. Second, control what you can. You can't control other people, the economy, the weather, the past, even though we want to. But you can control your effort, your response, your attitude, and your habits. Your preparation. That's where power lives. Third, keep small promises. When life feels chaotic, don't try changing everything overnight. Instead, make up your bed. Exercise a little bit. Drink some water. Read 10 pages. Go for a walk. Tiny victories, whether you know it or not, builds confidence, rebuilds confidence. And confidence comes from evidence, not motivation. Fourth, stay connected. Isolation magnifies adversity. Talk to trusted people. Ask for help. Share honestly. Strength isn't pretending that everything is okay. Strength is coming from, a difficult situation. Number 5, remember that feelings changes. This is important because pain feels permanent, but feelings aren't facts. No emotion lasts forever. Keep moving. Now, I remember hearing this thing, it says, keep everything that you do hot, humble, open, and transparent. And that's how you get through that season. Years later, people often say things like, I never would have chosen it, but I wouldn't have changed it. Why? Because adversity develops things success never could. It develops your character, your patience, your compassion, your resilience, your wisdom, perspective. Success can build confidence, but adversity builds depth, and depth creates influence. People follow People, what I've found out is that people don't really follow perfection. They follow authenticity. Your story matters. Someone else may survive because they hear how you survive. Don't waste your pain. Turn it into purpose. Turn your lessons into leadership. You'll find that this thing that we call life is just a journey, and all we're doing is writing the next chapter of our books. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I learn? Do I need to become? Who do I need to become? What habits does this require? What assumptions, right? I need to change. What strength is being developed? How can I help someone else with this experience? Someday these questions move you from victim to participant. And that's where the greatest aspect of your life happens, where you kind of lock in and actually become the person that you've always were meant to be. Now, if there's one thing I hope you remember from today's conversation, it's this: adversity is rarely the end. Most of the time is just the beginning. A version of yourself that hasn't existed yet. Life has a way of introducing us to the strengths we didn't even know we possess. But those strengths only appears when they're required. Don't waste energy wishing life was easier. Become stronger, become wiser, become more resilient. Every person you've ever admired has walked through adversity. Not one escaped it. The difference wasn't that life was easier for them. The difference was that they chose to keep moving. Adversity introduces you to strength you never knew existed. It strips away comfort, excuses, and an illusion until what is left is the person you're capable of becoming. One day, the challenge you face today may become the story that inspires someone else to keep going. Don't waste your pain. Turn it into purpose. Turn your scars into wisdom. Turn your setbacks into stepping stones. Success is not built in moments of comfort. It is forged in seasons of struggles and perseverance. An unwavering commitment. Keep showing up. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep owning the process, because the process isn't standing in your way of success. The process, you're owning your process, because your process is building your future. Not despite of the adversity, because of it. Thank you for spending this time with me. If today's episode encouraged you, share it. Like it, share it, subscribe to the channel with someone. Share it with someone that is going through a difficult season. You never know whose perspective might shift because of a conversation like this. Until next time, keep showing up, keep doing the work, keep owning the process, because the process isn't standing in your way of success. The process is your success. Have a great day.